Hello, Leos. Welcome to your June 2021 Zodiac reading. It's been a while since I've done Zodiac readings, I know, but I am laid up for a week from a gardening accident. Note to the wise, gardening closed-toed shoes, okay? I feel like I'm going to say that in all of the Zodiac readings because that's the best advice I have to give everybody right now. All right, so we are looking at the transitions happening within the month of June. The end of May, we had that super flower blood moon. It was high-packed energy, okay? So many people were feeling that intensity of all of those, of all the things that were being released. Like it was intense, okay? And now moving into June, the June 10th, we have a new moon solstice, which is going to be quite the astrological event as well. So Nine of Air just came out here. I just want to point that out. So anyway, we are looking at the transitions. Really, that's what I was feeling very called to. June is going to be a big month of transitions. That super blood moon was really about releasing old patterns and, you know, the intensity of that energy. Some of you may have really come up against some old patterns, whether that was from younger childhood trauma or adult trauma, whatever the case may be. We were really adjusting and releasing a lot of those old cycles. So as we have done that, now we're moving into this transition period and beginning these new transitions that are happening within us, right? Okay, so let's get started here, Leos. So this is for Leos, Sun, Moon, Rising. Keep in mind, it is a collective reading, so take what fits, leave the rest. If you do find this at a later date, trust that it was meant to find you when it found you, okay? Nobody's at the same point in their journey by any means. So, if you find resonation with this at a later date, that was when it was meant to find you. All right, so this is for Leos. Leos. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. Wow. All right, we have beautiful energy right off the bat. We have, for current energy, we have the Three of Water, we have the Lovers, and we have the Page of Fire. That's looking pretty beautiful there, Leos. All right, the transition here. What is transitioning? We have Nine of Earth, Three of Swords. That was a lot. Okay. King of Earth. Tower. Ace of Air. Okay. How is this transition supporting the Leos? Thank you, Spirit. Page of Air. The Hierophant. Wow, Queen of Swords. Ooh, boy. And how is this transition challenging the Leos? We have Messenger of Water, Six of Cups, Seven of Fire. Okay. Well, Leos, not to disappoint, eh? Okay, so current energy, we have Three of Cups, the Lovers, and the Page of Fire. I do feel for most of you, there is this sense of beginning some sort of, for some of you, it's definitely going to be, have some sort of romantic kind of aspects to it, but for others it's something that you are connecting yourself to emotionally here. But when we have the Three of Cups, the Three of Cups is talking about fellowship. It can be talking about friendship, but can also be talking about those intimate relationships and certainly romantic relationships, but it can definitely be talking about more so than just intimate connections. It's the Three of Cups is not only an intimate connection, but it's that spiritual connection. It's that kind of whole embodiment connection. Like it's the whole kind of kit and caboodle, right? And you see, we have the Lovers behind that in the Page of Fire. Current energy, I really feel, Leos, that love for some of you is going to be very much on the brain and the choice of that love. It doesn't need to, for some of you, it could be new love, but it certainly doesn't need to be, for some of you, it's going to be new beginnings of love, even within existing relationships. Maybe you've gone through a recent period where your romantic or your love life, whatever the case may be, was very challenged, and I feel like this current energy is very much looking into the healing and the new beginnings within that love. Let's clarify this Three of Water. Yep, Three of Water gets the King of Fire. Absolutely. You see, I feel like this Three of Water is very much where you have claimed the kind of love that you want, whether that is a relationship that you have, had your eye on and you're like, that is what I want, that person, that whatever, that's the relationship that I want, or whether it's within your relationship, right? And maybe you're single, and maybe you're not, but it's like acknowledging the kind of relationship that you want, and your role in that relationship. Being very honest, if you're wanting this kind of very passionate, connected, spiritual, intimate kind of relationship, then that's what you have to be willing to put back into it. And I think that in this current energy, this is very much where you're looking at the new beginning and what you're wanting to start for sure, but you're really addressing your roles within it, okay? I feel like you're becoming very accountable, Leo, for your role within it. The Lovers gets the Nine of Fire. Wow. And the Page of Fire gets the Hanged Man. Absolutely. You see, I feel that, especially for the Lovers card here, clarified by this Nine of Fire, I feel for some of you, love has been, and again, this can be within relationships, or within single life, right? But I feel that you have really come from some sort of recent challenge. Okay. And now it's like going forward, and the Lovers, before it was originally the Lovers, was actually called the Choice card. And, I feel that's what is really happening here, is you are making the choice. You are taking the reins here, and you are making the choice for the love that you are going to manifest here. Okay, for what that beginning looks like coming from the darkness. And again, that could be within a relationship, a current relationship, or it could be within a new relationship, right? And really where you're going and how this next step of this relationship is going to look. Here's that Page of Fire, that new beginning. And that those fire signs are very much passionate. It is new beginnings that are all about passion and new cycles and not repeating the past. That's very much what that Page of Fire is. She's acknowledging, like, look, I want to go forward here. I want to have change in my life. I want to have new beginnings, new passions. So I can't do it the way I've done it in the past. And she acknowledges this. She's very accountable. That Page of Fire is a very accountable energy for the changes needing to be put into place here. And when the Hanged Man clarifies that, to me, that's very much just allowing, like, it's putting down the resistance of where you have fought the changes before, right? Like, it's allowing Spirit to really work through you, and instead of around you. It takes longer for Spirit to work miracles and changes around you than it does to just allow Spirit to work the new beginnings through you, and I see that you're really dropping that kind of resistance. I feel maybe for some of you, there's been that kind of stubborn side of you or that ego-led side of you where you were fighting the changes in which Spirit was giving you. And I just feel that currently, I feel you are really dropping a lot of that resistance. Okay. So the transition that's taking place within this month, we have the Nine of Earth, we have the Three of Air, we have the King of Earth, the Tower, and the Ace of Air. I feel like, again, here's a huge amount of this accountability. That Nine of Earth is all about accountability, and it is truly about self-fulfillment. That Nine of Earth is feeling wholesome within your own energy, fulfilled within your own space, and to be fulfilled within your own space, you also must be very accountable for that fulfillment of self. You must be very accountable for the energy that you create within your own life, right? That fulfilling energy that you create within your own life. Because if you can't sustain your own self and you can't sustain your own energy, really realistically, you're codependent of somebody else, right? And I feel that maybe you have been codependent in the past, and this is your acknowledgement. This is that shift into that accountability of your own emotions and your own self-fulfillment. Here we have the three of swords, the Three of Air, and that's a pain. Okay. That's pain. That's heartache. That's brokenheartedness. But we have the King of Earth here. And that's an energy of making tangible change, acknowledging the actual steps and changes that you want. If you're going to want if you're going to want fortune and you're going to want abundance and you're going to want fulfillment in your life, that King of Earth is the energy of acknowledging the steps you are going to be responsible to take. Okay. The Tower is crumbling all of the bullshit that needs to go. Okay. And the Ace of Air here, this is a gift from Spirit, Aces are always gifts from spirit. And the Ace of Air is clarity, truth, some sort of new understanding. Maybe it's an aha moment. Maybe you've been working at things and you just haven't had that click, that aha moment yet. And that Ace of Air is that, that thought, that understanding that comes from the divine, that gifts you that clarity, that gifts you that truth. Okay. Let's see. Why is this 9 of Earth transitioning? 10 of Fire. Yep. Because the fulfillment here, this self-fulfillment, okay, again, comes with that self-accountability. And here's the accountability. Here's where you have to release yourself from the old burdens, Leo. Okay, the 10 of Fire is the 10 of Wands. And this, you can see in this depiction, she's burning all that bullshit. Okay, she's written down all of those disbeliefs and all those burdens and those weights and those things that she has held on to for a really long time that have limited her, that kept her stuck, weighed her down, and she freed herself from that. She set herself on fire, and therefore she is taking control and claiming her power within this life. Okay, she's not allowing those old past burdens to be what diminishes her shine or her light, her fulfillment. Okay, she is taking responsibility for her own energy, okay, for her own happiness, for her own self-fulfillment. And if it's not going to fulfill her, or it makes her feel unfulfilled, or it adds shame or guilt or any sort of layer, she's releasing herself from that. Okay, she's dropping that baggage, she's completing that burden. Okay, she's getting rid of it. Because that 3 of Air is behind it, and that 3 of Air is the heartbreak, right? What's the Devil? Yep, the Devil and the 5 of Earth. That's that low vibration bullshit temptation. Okay, that is just heartache. That's past, and it can be the 5 of Pentacles can be the energy of despair, loneliness, hardships, financial hardships, right? Being stuck on the outside, right? But here is that transition with inside of self. Here is acknowledging those low vibrations, acknowledging that heartache. You know, that's part of those 10, that's part of that 10 of Fire and those, and what you're burning, what you're releasing, right? Acknowledging that 3 of Air, that's your choice, right? You can choose to walk away from those low vibrations. You can choose new beginnings. The King of Earth clarified, I love this, by the Fool and the 10 of Air, the 10 of Swords. Okay, this King of Earth, remember how we were talking about this is your choice to walk that path and to choose that kind of, no, like I'm going to release myself from that. I want this kind of life, so I'm going to make these kind of steps, right? There's that Fool. There's that new beginning. There's the acknowledgement that you got to walk a different path if you want different results. And the 10 of Swords is, again, releasing yourself from the toxicities, from those old thought patterns, from those old beliefs. Whatever it is that's making you feel small or stuck. I love how this angel, she's just throwing it up to the wind. She don't give 2 shits, okay? She's got to release herself to go forward here. She wants change. She wants fulfillment. She wants wholeness in her life. So she acknowledges that, well, then I can't carry this bullshit. I can't carry these patterns. I can't carry those old thoughts and those old beliefs. I have to get rid of them with that Tower. She has to shake down, remove the old bullshit, and let that just crumble. Okay? Connect to the divine here, right? Allow the divine, allow the stars, and the star card is the answered prayers. And sometimes our prayers are answered in ways that we could never even possibly imagine. And if you just allow Spirit to shake up the structures that aren't serving you anymore and bring into you what is for you, if you open yourself up to that, right? If you acknowledge that I got to cut the old bullshit away and I got to release myself from those old patterns so that I can be open to the divine's new beginning. Well, here we have it. Ace of Air. Right? The moon. The divine. And the moon is talking about our intuition. It's talking about our connection here to the divine. Our faith in the things that we cannot see. It can also be talking about the illusions, right? And those illusions, very much like the old patterns and the old thoughts and the old burdens that we carry. Those are illusions, because those are stories and beliefs that situations within our life have made us feel, but they're not necessarily truth. Okay. Now, how is this transition? Because that's a pretty big transition, right? And how is this transition supporting you? Well, it's beginning this new era, the Page of Air. Okay. The Hierophant and the Queen of Air. You see, there's clarity, there's truth coming in here. And there's this acknowledgement to the higher road, this higher level of self with the Hierophant. And it's almost like I recently read a book, Claim Your Power by Mastin Kipp. Actually, currently I'm still reading it. But the Hierophant really has changed for me a lot, because the Hierophant is about claiming or embracing your God-like, Christ-like being. Okay, that's the energy of the Hierophant. Okay, it can be talking about religion and stuff, but I mean, if you've watched my readings before, you'll. It doesn't take very long to acknowledge that spirituality to me does not fit in the box of religion. The Lord does not fit in the box of religion. So oftentimes I don't refer very much to the Hierophant as a religion card, but what I do see it as is your hierarchy and your power. Okay, and the hierarchy of power within our lives should go ourself, the Creator, and others. Because it is our choice to serve divine will. It is our choice to serve the Lord. Okay, and when we choose that, when we make that choice to serve our divine will or to serve our divine purpose, okay, when we make that choice out of our own power and claiming that that is what we want to do. We want to show up to that kind of purpose within our lives. We want to show up, to why we are here. We choose that. Well, then we are running on a higher vibration, right? And see, and that's this Page of Air and this Hierophant and this Queen of Air, because that's the clarity and the choice that you are making, okay? It's the clarity in the path that you are choosing here. Yes, it's new. Yes, there's new beginnings. Yes, there's new things coming up here, but this is a choice that you are making, and what's supporting you here? You're in this beginning stage. Maybe for some of you, you're learning. You're in this pause phase and you're just learning, right? You're not maybe making any necessary actions, but you're being open to new understandings. You're being open to that new hierarchy of power within your life. Okay. What's challenging? What could be challenging this transition? We have the Messenger of Water. We have the Six of Cups. And we have the Seven of Fire. For some of you, expressing some sort of love, maybe you are wanting to go and express love to somebody, express your emotions, express your healing, express, your feelings towards somebody or something. And for some of you, it can be really hard for you to open up and really shine that kind of truth of self, especially with the Seven of Fire, okay? It could be very challenging. For some of you, it could, let's clarify. Why is that Messenger of Water challenging? Four of Cups clarifies that Messenger of Water. For some of you, it can be, the idea of even new love, new opportunities. Maybe you're still stuck kind of staring at some sort of cups that got spilt. Maybe it was a past relationship that didn't work out or something like that. But it's what can be challenging you is this new opportunity that's being presented to you, and you still being stuck looking at the opportunities that didn't work out. Okay? You have to acknowledge the change. You have to acknowledge that the cups that were spilt weren't for you, and them being spilt is actually truly a gift from the Creator, right? Six of Cups. Let's clarify this Six of Cups. Well, the Six of Cups is about reflection, nostalgia, okay? Looking back, understanding, why it is that you are where you are. It's very much about that really deep, truthful reflection within your own emotions, and clarified by the Two of Fire here. I feel like what can be challenging for you is because for some of you, there's going to have to be a change of direction here. For some of you, this reflection is really going to open up the truth before you. And in order for you to truly go forward and allow this transition to take place, you're going to have to make a choice to make it, to change a direction here. And that can be very challenging. That can be very hard. And the Seven of Fire, clarified by the Ace of Water. Wow. You see, in order for you to open up and receive this new cup, this ace, this emotional gift from the divine, you have to stand in your own light. Let your little light shine, right? And again, you know, maybe for some of you, it's coming forward with that vulnerability, you know, and expressing that cup. Maybe for some of you, it's, you know, it's a cup that you've really struggled to bring forward and to bring that level of vulnerability because you're always afraid somebody's going to, you know, take it from you. But again, if that's what you want, if that's the kind of relationship you are wanting back, you have to be brave enough to give that to somebody, right? You have to be brave enough to look past the cups that didn't work out and past the relationships and past the hurt that you have had and look for the new beginning that the divine is trying to give you. Whether that's in a new relationship or whether that's in an existing relationship. You know, if you want to make relationships work and you want to make relationships and growth within relationships happen, well, you have to acknowledge that, okay, that can happen, but you really are going to have to pull up your big, you know, you're going to have to pull up your big boy or big girl pants to be able to really put that kind of change and forward motion into action. Okay? How can this transition be affecting the divine feminine energy here? Thank you, Spirit. We have the Messenger of Fire, the Queen of Earth, and the Page of Water coming out for this divine feminine energy. Now, keep in mind, the divine feminine energy is your inner energy, right? It's your inner truth. It's your intuition. Okay. How this transition can be affecting that? Well, we have the Knight of Fire. Messenger of Fire here. And this is where you can definitely be feeling that passion, feeling that spark, feeling that calling to just come into your authenticity, right? Like it's almost like that intuition in your gut and your soul are just screaming, follow this authenticity. Follow this light within inside of self, right? The Queen of Pentacles behind that. It's like your intuition is in this supercharged manifesting energy in which not only are you nurturing the growth within inside of self, but ultimately the growth within inside your life and relationships. Like it's like you're just in this manifesting powerhouse energy where, you know, that divine feminine energy of self, as she connects to this authenticity, she connects authentically to all of this abundance and this fulfillment that she's been working towards. She starts nurturing herself with this Page of Water. There's new emotional, new emotional beginning. That can be new romances starting, again, within existing relationships or new relationships. And it doesn't even have to be romantic. It can certainly just be connections, right? Friendships. Something here, though, that you're really coming forward and expressing your authenticity. And as you express that authenticity, it nurtures relationships that are going to support you, that are going to, fulfill you because you're fulfilling yourself. So within that fulfillment of self, you are, you're creating that kind of energy to come back into your life. I love it, Leos. This is such a beautiful reading. All right. How is this transition affecting the divine masculine? Well, we have King of Air, Queen of Water, and the High Priestess. Beautiful. This divine masculine energy is your action energy. And how it can be affecting it for sure is this clarity. It's interesting because you have the King of Air and the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Water. And it can be this masculine energy has the clarity, okay? The direction and the forward movement has this clarity, this truth, this understanding, and yet it's connecting very much again to the divine feminine intuitive emotions. Okay, understanding that, hey, this is what my heart wants. This is what my heart needs. So the actions that we have to be going forward here, it's almost like extremely clear on especially with the High Priestess following, extremely clear on that intuition and what that intuition's saying, you know, acknowledging the steps that inner guidance is really truly speaking, and then making sure that those are the action steps that you are directly taking, right? All right, let's pull some Moonology here as well for the divine feminine and divine masculine. Okay, so we're going to pull some Moonologies here. Divine feminine. Okay. Be bold and make the first move. The cardinal moon. I love that. Luck is on your side. The new moon in Sagittarius. And don't let pride get in your way. The full moon in Leo. Beautiful. And divine masculine. Thank you, Spirit. Adjustments are required. The third quarter moon. And the end of a tough cycle approaches. I love those energies. And I especially love this adjustments are required, because this is about acknowledging the changes that you want to see. And then very much like that King of Pentacles, acknowledging the changes that you actually must take, right? If you want to see the change, then you have to be the one who makes the change, right? All right, let's see. What's Spirit's advice going forward with this transition? What is Spirit's advice for you, Leo, going forward with this transition? Queen of Fire, Two of Swords, 9 of Water. Absolutely. Your intuition here, Leo, is guiding you, okay? Listen to your truth. Listen to your authenticity. Okay, your happiness here is yours, but you must be the one who goes forward here. The Two of Swords can sometimes be a stalemate energy where we get stuck, okay? Stuck because we're not listening to our authenticity. We're not listening to our soul's guidance. In order to find this happiness and this fulfillment inside of self, you must be brave enough to show that level of authenticity, to come forward and show the world, this is me. Because how else are you going to be happy living a life if you're not living a life who you truly can be you, right? All right, we are going to finish with, we're going to finish with an Angels and the Ancestors here. And I'm going to read this one right from the book. This is a deck by Kyle Gray. I absolutely love it. Sorry, guys. It's really hard for me to sit in front of the camera today, because if you've seen how I was sitting with my foot up in the air, because it still needs to be elevated, you would laugh. So it is hard. It is hard for me to shuffle in front of the camera today, and I do apologize, but such is life. Okay, this is a message for Leos going forward for this month of June. What closing message do you have for the Leos going forward here, Spirit? What is the closing? Thank you, Spirit. We have Sage. Be devoted and committed. What a beautiful, beautiful. Oop, there we are. Be devoted and committed. Be willing to go the whole road and back again. This will allow you to be the best you can possibly be. The Sage represents the wise one within. When this card arises, it shows that you are preparing to become a great and insightful teacher to your peers. It guides you to take notes, as the wandering yogi is on this card, because your knowledge and life experiences can impart incredible insights to those with whom you come in contact. This card is about observation and becoming more aware of who you are and all of your inner workings, because that awareness can bring more clarity to your decisions. Devotion is a powerful energy. Right now, angels and ancestors want to acknowledge how committed you are to your growth. Your continued dedication to this aspect of your life has been recognized, and your understanding that you are not only a body, but also a soul is all you need to continue growing and expanding. The energy of oneness is offering itself to you now, and it is important you take some time to integrate it all so that you can be supported and guided by it. This is what the divine wants for you. Make a note of experiences or teachings making themselves known to you at this time, because you are going to share those teachings one day too. Wow. All right, my beautiful Leos. Well, thank you so much for joining me for that reading. As always, take great care of your beautiful soul. Bye now.